GA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. You talk about this Rams defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
This is 2nd and 8.
Come on.
Back to throw. Rhodes. A short throw to Musgrave. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Here we go. Start.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So likely a 3-and-out on their opening drive. That's not a good omen for a team that's lost 3 straight games.
Too many threes that you're mentioning right there. That's a number they've got to get off of. And the big risk you're running right now is discouragement amongst the ranks. How do you keep them up? How do you keep them motivated? They got to dial up something to give themselves some confidence.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
18 Cardinal. Ready?
They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. We'll get this to about the 38.
The big part of the middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Back. Viking 18.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know They want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready.
On first down, it's Wolf. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Puka Nacua, his second touchdown on the season. And the Rams will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Chase McLaughlin.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerve.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
2 things to watch. First, his strength in being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
Ready. Panthers 60. Panthers. Ready.
Looking to throw. Simon. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Simon. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Rhodes. To the left side, he's got Warren, the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
First down, the run with Lynch. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Okay, break. Here we go, here we go. 60 by 6.
Operating from the gun. Rhodes. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. They'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
The Lions, first down.
Let's go now. Cougar 19. Ready.
Lynch. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Here we go, set.
They'll run again with Lynch. And a very determined run there, as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Panther 60, Panther 60, 19, 18.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's to Warren, his tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
They'll run with Lynch. Runs over him. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are back within a score.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
60
Looking to throw. Simon. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. 74 yards. And the Rams are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. Off play action. Rhodes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Takes it to about the 37.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier. They shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
14 yards. And the Lions first down.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13.
Let's go now.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Rams are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he returns this to the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this. But you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
At the 47-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Simon. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw. Going to be taken in here by Nacua. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
19 tight. 19 tight. Go.
Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Rams are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers.
Field goal. A 25-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Wolf. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Looking to throw. Simon. That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Simon. He finds his man, complete. It's Wolf. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Come on.
Up the middle they go. Wolf. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Roberts. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Here we go. Go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Go! 60 Eagles! 60 Eagles! Ready?
And this is caught. He's got a touchdown, L.A.
Puka Nacua.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Rams take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
The Rams leave the offense on the field. They'll go for 2.
The Rams will line up for the
They'll look to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he is into the end zone to to bump the lead up 2 more.
Lions 14. Chase McLaughlin set to
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
2nd down and 8.
Let's go now. 19, press roll 80.
Back to throw. Rhodes. He finds his man. Complete. That's Lawrence. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hot 70, hot 70.
Looking to throw. Rhodes. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Pat the 60.
And they'll give to Lynch out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Come on, come on. Hey, go.
Operating from the gun, Rhodes.
Over the middle, pass caught by Warren.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here we go. Check out.
Back to the ground. Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Dragon 60.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. So no gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
19 Tiger.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Okay, ready?
Now a 2nd and 6.
Ready? Go!
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Wolf. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 18, 5 in.
Back to throw. Simon. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ready, break.
At the 21-yard line.
Ready. Like, check out.
Now a give, right side. Wolf. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here comes the Rams punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here we go, set.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Warriors, 70. Go.
Looking to throw. Rhodes. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Like someone thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Let's go now. 60 by 6. Trap 50. Trap 60. 18 rattle. 18 rattle.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to it's third down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is third down now.
They'll look to throw again. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on third and 10. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Now first and goal.
Back to throw. Rhodes. They set up the screen to Lynch.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Ready. Panther 60, Panther 60.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
Okay,
Here
ready.
now, second and goal.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Rhodes.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Third and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory.
Come on. Ready.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is caught.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on fourth and goal.
70 Timberwolves. Buffalo 18.
Back to throw. Rhodes. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on fourth and goal. And this Rams defense comes up with a goal line stand. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
44 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock
18
ticking.
Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Rams, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.